It's unpredictable. It's brutal. It's emotional. And most importantly, it's entertaining. Attack on Titan is the Game of Thrones of anime. Well, back before Season 8 ever happened.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
And today, I want to present to you something that stood out for me in the show. The story hidden between the lines, the masterpiece of storytelling, and the side of this anime that nobody really talks about. I present to you the genius of Attack on Titan. Let me explain. Attack on Titan is full of incredibly powerful characters, but surprisingly, the most powerful weapon is the way that the story is told. To understand my point, we have to understand what's going on, so let me summarize that for you. Quick pause, I will talk about stuff that happened up to the first half of the 4th season. The second and the final part is coming out right now, so no spoilers for that. Over 100 years ago, humanity found itself faced with a new predator. They were way more powerful than humans and with the sole purpose to consume anyone they would find. Pushed to the brink of extinction, humanity's last survivals built a bastion consisting of 3 walls: Maria, Rose, and Sheena. Today, Wall Maria was breached. Even before we get properly introduced to the main characters, Eren, Mikasa and Armin, their world is turned upside down in one of the most powerful and horrifying introductions I have ever seen. On this day, we are introduced to the villains of the series. The Titans. Trapped like a cattle in a cage, humanity battles for their own survival. Season 1 focuses on setting up the rules of the world and getting familiar with the characters, though do not get too attached to those. People are the good ones, fighting for their survival, whereas Titans are the mindless monsters whose only focus is to eliminate humanity. We are left in the dark about the nature of the Titans. Some individuals, though, like Eren, seem to be able to transform into more powerful and intelligent Titans, suggesting that there are more people like him, like the Colossal, Female or Armored Titan. Those, unlike Eren, seem to want the humanity extinct. But why? This season raises a lot of questions and confusion as everything is slowly unfolding. That said, Season 2 focuses mainly on developing 2 characters, Reinhardt and Berthold. The comrades who enlisted to be soldiers together with our trio and fought alongside of them. Hiding amongst the ranks of their friends, we find out about their betrayal. It was the 2 of them who turned the world into hell. A few years ago, they transformed into the Colossal and Armored Titan and breached the first wall. After learning this truth, Eren focuses his anger towards them. The reality is simple. They are the problem, the cause of all his evil, and they should pay for it. Coming to Season 3, it's all about exposition. We learn that, well, we are not alone. Humanity was not wiped out, and the rest of the world is way more advanced. Furthermore, Titans are, well, people. People of the same race as us, Eldians. Over 100 years ago, people of Marley and Eldians were in war. To stop the bloody conflict, Eldian king decided to relocate the population onto a small island, erect 3 giant walls and wipe everyone's memories. In hope of a better future, he created paradise. Paradise that would turn into a cage. Outside of the walls, however, Eldians who were left behind on the mainland are considered the race of devils. As punishment for being monsters, people of Marley treat them as such. Brainwashed and imprisoned, the Eldians outside of the walls get turned into titans and sent towards the walls to get rid of our protagonists. The world hates Eldians and wants to eradicate the titan threat. The season ends with the same message as the rest. We have to survive against the enemy and fight. But now we know who we are fighting against. Marley. Up to this point, the path has been pretty straightforward. People inside of the walls are good and everybody else is bad. That's where Season 4 hits different and where my points start making sense. The opening scenes of Season 4 feel like it's from a different world. A world in a war with itself. We follow the story of 5 friends: Falco, Gabi, Colt, Udo and Sofia. Eldian kids training to become warriors and inherit the power of the Titans. From an early age, they are taught about their history, brainwashed into believing that they are the race of devils, and if they are ever to be forgiven, they need to repay for their sins in the service of Marley. Marley has been using Eldians and Titans as a weapon of war to a great success, oppressing them for 100 years and conquering other nations, but the rest of the world has caught up with them. Facing the threat of alliance forming against them and the ultimate demise for Marley, they need to buy time for themselves and paint the Paradise Island as the villains. The world would unite, eliminating the Titan threat and giving Marley the chance to react. Knowing this, the people of Paradise Island have no choice but to interfere. If they want to survive, Eren, Mikasa, Armin and others need to put a stop to it before the enemy can mobilize. And this is the point where the weight of the situation finally settles in. Eren, who possesses the power to turn into a titan, secretly appears in Marley. Having one last talk with a frightened Reiner, Eren points out how they are the same. In a flashback we see how, back in the day, Reiner and Berthold were sent to destroy the walls Maria and Rose. They did it for their families, for the Eldian people in the internment zone, with the promise to be honorary Marleyans, to bring their lives and lives of others out of hell. They had to do it, to save the world and eradicate the devils. And now it was happening again. Eren has to act and save his world.
世界を救うためだったらそれは仕方ないよな
Much as in real life, the world is not simple anymore. There is no good and bad. Reiner was saving his family. Now Eren is saving his. Both sides have good reasons for conflict. They are trying to save the world. Their world. The same way as we witnessed the destruction of his home and death of his mother in the hands of Titans, he has to be the one who brings destruction and kill in the center of Reiner's home. And so he does. With a powerful scream, he belly flops into a crowd of people. And at this point, it's honestly difficult to know who to root for. The hero we watched struggle for 3 seasons is massacring people. The same way we were following 3 little kids in the beginning of the show, running away in horror from destruction, we are now looking at the same kids causing the horrors. We are looking at Gabi watching her friends be brutally murdered, feeding the same rage as Eren, Armin and Mikasa had. Nothing has changed. It is the same as years ago, just the roles are switched and the victims are different. The thing is, the author wants us to realize something. He wants us to understand the opposition, that we are the same people, with motivations and lives, and that there is no definite good and bad. The most powerful moment where this is shown is when Gabi is confronted with the horrors that her nation did.
ただここからあそこでお母さんが食べられる音を聞いてた。お母さんはずっと生きたまま食べられてた。ミア、ベン、教えて。お母さんは一体何をしたの？何をしたからこんなに恨まれているの？何千年も世界中の人々を虐殺したからでしょ？何千年？そんなことも忘れていたなんて。被害者ぶるのはやめて！でもお母さんはこの辺で生まれ育ったからそんなひどいことはしてないと思う。だから100年前あなたたちの先祖が犯した罪の大きさが問題なの。100年前って、じゃあ今生きている私たちは一体何の罪を犯しているの？ついこの間だって私の町を蹂躙した。私のお母さんが殺されたのは4年前だからその罪じゃない。だから先祖が世界中の人を虐殺したから。お母さんは誰も殺してない。ねえミア、ちゃんと答えて。なんでお母さんがあんなに苦しんで殺されたのか、何か理由があるんでしょ。そうじゃなきゃおかしいよ。なんでお母さんは生きたまま体を食べられたの？ねえ、何のために殺されたの？ねえ、なんで
？There are common themes repeating in the last season. The unavoidable conflict that the protagonists are pushed into, the despair and wishes of never being born, brainwashing and enforcing beliefs on others. For anyone who has not watched the anime yet, I highly recommend you to do so. There are many side stories that I didn't touch and I tried to keep the spoilers to the minimum. It is still an incredible show, even after rewatching it to remind myself everything. There are still details I only realized after rewatching it a second time. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me today. Please subscribe if you liked the video and don't if you didn't. And yeah, see ya!